The illness of normalcy and the instinctive drive toward wholeness. Instinct. It is instinctive for a mother to protect her young children. It is instinctive for certain birds to migrate long distances to places they may have never been before. It is instinctive for my alpha cat to hunt. And if he can't get a bird or a fish or a mouse outside, he'll settle for a smaller cat inside. It is instinctive for a human to lash out at another when we're in pain. It is also instinctive for humans to seek comfort and shy away from sources of pain. But let me go back to the cat for a minute. My cat, along with arguably all the rest of the animal kingdom, except for Homo sapiens, my cat is an instinctive creature. His intelligence, his cunning, his ability to judge the negotiations of distances and jumps that would make me blanch if I were his size, it's all instinctive. We humans, on the other hand, are rational creatures, or at least primarily rational. Instinct plays a good deal into our lives, it's true. Particularly, I might point out, the instinct to lash out when we are in pain, the instinct to avoid the sensation of pain. But we also have a keenly honed ability to rationalize and an ability to reason through a course of action. It's a higher level of decision-making. But there are also a few of us, a few but more and more, who are neither wholly instinctive nor primarily rational. The next step on the evolutionary ladder, if you will, is enlightenment. My cat attacks and occasionally hurts his little feline stepbrothers because it is in his nature to hunt, and I won't let him outside to hunt something he could actually catch and eat. He operates on instinct, and it's good that he does, because if I weren't around to put kibble in his bowl every morning, he would need to be the hunter that he is in order to be able to eat. Human beings engage in violence instinctively sometimes. We might go to war primarily because we are retaliating fast and furiously to our own pain, a strike upon our person or our community. We might also go to war because we have reasoned dispassionately that it is the best option in a bad situation, a lesser of two evils. Or even we might go to war because we have reasoned quite passionately that it serves our interests whether or not it serves the interests of others. You see, there is both instinct and reason present, and in situations of violence, instinct may get the ball rolling, at which point reason picks up the ball and runs with it. And the enlightened don't engage in violence at all. Not a violent action against someone else or themselves, not a violent word or words said violently, no aggression in their thought, word, or deed. And this is true of all humanity, wherever you find an enlightened individual. You know, in traditional yoga, the sort of yoga that one does for hours and hours a day, as a spiritual practice under the guidance of a guru or a monk, and this is as opposed to the sort of yoga you do for 45 minutes 3 times a week when you feel like going to the gym. Doing this yoga, you have to have an acceptance of nonviolence as one of the precursors that must be mastered before the student is even allowed to try the simplest and most basic of the yoga postures. And it's like I mentioned, nonviolence, non-aggression in everything. What you do, what you think, what you eat, what you say. Even an impatient sigh is creating more of the aggressive negativity in the world. And while cats or bears or chipmunks may not be capable of the cognitive leap from instinct to reason, it has already been proven throughout the course of history that humans can make the leap from reason to enlightenment. Why that is, I don't know. But I do know that another word for enlightenment, another way to think about it, might be wholeness or life in balance. or even oneness with God. And there are as many ways to wholeness as there are stars to count in the sky. But I'll give you one more. Not original to me, original to Eckhart Tolle, but darn handy. Step 1, a desire to be whole. This step sounds the easiest, but that's usually because if you're hearing this, it might already be true for you. The easiest task is the one that is already finished. Step 2, observing yourself, your whole self, body, mind, and spirit, with compassion and clarity. This one can be a bit more difficult. It's not necessarily difficult to stand back from yourself and observe, now I'm doing this, now I'm saying that, now I'm feeling this, now I'm feeling that. What can be difficult to do is this observation with compassion and clarity. Because what if you observe something you don't like? What if you see in yourself behavior that you do not approve of? Perhaps even behavior that you had feared to acknowledge before. What if you observe emotions that you don't want to own up to? Even in the silent secrecy of your own mind. For most of us, instantly we start getting mean. We say things of ourselves that we probably might never utter out loud to someone else. We might never call someone else stupid, but we'll call ourselves stupid in the privacy of our own minds. It is hard to observe yourself and all the things that make up who you are as you go through your day. It is hard to observe yourself with compassion and yet not gloss over or deny the difficult things we might observe, to see them warts and all and yet not judge them. But that is what we are called to do, and that is step 2. And step 3 is to accept every moment for what it is. This step is also not easy to do at first, though it does get easier, and for all that it is not necessarily easy at first, it's pretty simple. It's simply accepting each moment, every moment. It doesn't mean to be satisfied with every moment or to be happy with every moment. Some moments are not so nice, and some moments show us that situations need to be changed. We don't have to like the moment, but accepting is the opposite of denying. And denial is a largely useless tactic that so many of us persist in employing nevertheless. But when we accept a situation, something rather miraculous happens. And it happens without our having done anything else to create it. That moment is transformed into something profound and peaceful. Strange and beautiful flowers bloom in such moments, in moments like this. And they are all the flowers that belong in the garden of enlightenment. And when such flowers bloom in enough people, war, violence, hatred, injustice, and oppression will be transformed into neighborliness and peace, compassion, justice, and freedom. It will happen. And it will start with you.